Emma Stone is moving through Hollywood to the rhythm of jazz. She's ethereal, energetic, and bold. She rarely slows down, except to go through some dramatic moments, though these are relatively sparse. Her toolbox is rather full of hundreds of funny, amusing, and awkward stories, and she's always the first to laugh at herself wholeheartedly.
Most people just usually think that I have a cold, or
Right.
that I just woke up, or most taxi cab drivers call me sir. Because they don't look back.
Especially when she reads all sorts of nonsense about herself on the internet.
Oh, I once read that I look like a fish inside of a chicken smoking a cigarette, which is, I mean,
I see the resemblance.
it's uncanny.
Uncanny.
It really is.
For 7 long years, she would wear her lipstick not only on her teeth, but on her braces too, since avoiding that kind of mess was impossible. Any physical activity makes her awfully sweaty. Any other actor would cry their eyes out after suffering this many embarrassing situations, but Emma's just built different. No matter what happens, the only thing that actually makes her cry is meeting other celebrities. But it's not just any celebrity, it's the one she has adored since childhood.
I've cried in front of Diane Keaton. I didn't cry in front of Bill Murray, but I like walked away and cried. And then I was in an elevator for the first time with Lorne Michaels, and I turned into the corner of the elevator and cried.
Throughout her childhood, these stars helped her fight mental health issues. How? We're gonna talk about that in just a moment, but in the meantime, subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Nowadays, Emma is in high demand. She is rich and she is thriving. On her account, there are dozens of successful movies, prestigious awards, and nominations. But before she landed her first major feature role, she spent 4 years attending every little show, every audition, got rejected numerous times, and starred in TV shows that were canned after only a pilot episode. So she obviously had to look for side gigs too.
Well, I worked at a dog bakery when I was 15, but you already know.
They
what we
baked
talked about.
dogs? That's
Yeah.
awful.
Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Okay,
Just kidding, I would never bake dogs.
She totally would. She's a cat person.
Jokes aside, those were some really tough times for her as an actress. This is why her La La Land character Mia was so relatable for Emma.
I definitely could relate to moving out to LA to be an actor and auditioning a lot and being rejected a lot.
Speaking of La La Land, Emma recalls being very sick and having to take a variety of medications during the audition. As such, she was convinced she had failed. Imagine her shock when she got a call back and discovered the director had chosen her. And of course, Emma being Emma, she responded joking that Damien Chazelle must have had questionable taste. Turning any drama into comedy is a cardinal rule for any comedian, and Emma is no exception. She's known comedy was in her nature since childhood.
It's just because comedy means everything to me.
Emily Jean Stone was born in Scottsdale, Arizona, into a humble family with no celebrity relatives or connections at all. Regardless of this fact, however, at just 4, she began showcasing an interest in acting. Her debut acting experience occurred when she was 7, playing in a school musical as the only first grader among 5th graders.
Which felt so cool because everyone was so much older than me. So I was like, oh, I'm cool up here.
When Emma was 11, the role of an otter in her first school play opened the doors to the world of theater. Over the next 2 years, she appeared in 16 plays at Phoenix's Valley Youth Theater and also participated in the theater's improv comedy troupe. The more the young actress mastered the art of acting, the more she realized the theater scene was too confining for her ambitions. She longed for something much bigger, making movies. And that is how the famous Project Hollywood was conceived, which she then presented to her parents.
I did a PowerPoint demonstration. There was a fair amount of alliteration, and there was music. The song Hollywood by Madonna was in it, which was really some heady stuff.
Project Hollywood involved an immediate relocation to Los Angeles, though there was always the likelihood her parents would insist she finish school first given that she was only 14. Emma, however, was resolute and determined not to back down.
I thought ahead and thought that might be a question, and put pictures of various people like Sarah Jessica Parker and people like that had started at a younger age.
This approach succeeded with her parents, and at 15, Emma left school and moved with her mom to the City of Angels. Unfortunately, adult decisions come with adult consequences, and things were not quite as rosy as Emma anticipated when she arrived in the City of Angels. Emma faced about 5 to 6 auditions a week, most of which were unsuccessful due to her limited experience. Additionally, when she did receive an offer to play someone, they were usually stereotypical blonde roles, which she found quite frustrating. These challenges were further compounded by the anxiety she had been battling since she was 7.
I was a very, very, very anxious child, and I had a lot of panic attacks, and I benefited in a big way from therapy.
Emma Stone experienced her first anxiety attack when she was visiting a friend. While they were in his living room, Emma suddenly became convinced that the house was on fire.
But there was nothing in me that didn't think we were going to die.
From there, the panic attacks became more frequent. Soon, almost daily, she would visit the school nurse's office, feigning pain and requesting to call her mom to come pick her up.
I was so kind of paranoid about everything.
Thankfully, Emma's mom had the good sense to offer her daughter therapy, which helped her find ways to manage her mental health issues. Until the age of 11, Emma would suck on her thumb, finding that the pressure on her palate had a calming effect. Emma eventually discovered drawing as a therapeutic outlet. She even created a picture book titled "I Am Bigger Than My Anxiety," where she portrayed her anxiety as a green monster who became smaller and smaller over the course of therapy.
This is me, I guess, with really, it's great artistry with my shoes. And then this is anxiety here.
Acting and improvisation became her primary tools for combating mental issues. She was inspired by numerous great actors and comedians like Steve Martin, John Candy, and Bill Murray. These icons opened up a new world for Emma and played a pivotal role in her battle against anxiety.
I think that comedy was saved me as a kid because I was so in my head and so tense and anxious that comedy really changed everything for me.
Acting afforded Emma the chance to experience different, fictional lives and envision herself in these various scenarios. For those battling an anxiety disorder, it can be a challenge to even step outside, much less attend college, move, or make significant life changes. Although Emma continues to manage her anxiety, it seems to vanish like magic whenever she steps onto a stage or a film set. Despite these challenges, Emma Stone has transformed her anxiety, once considered a weakness, into her greatest superpower. Maybe that's why we all have such a deep connection with her and the role she plays. Because it's Emma, we empathize deeply with her characters. We suffered alongside her in Crazy Stupid Love, got a taste of what it's like to date a superhero in The Amazing Spider-Man, experiencing the journey of a recovering drug addict in Birdman, and of course, together we danced, sang, loved, and hurt in La La Land. She intrigued us with Anne Stewart's court intrigues in The Favorite, captivated us with Cruella's unmatched couture looks, and most recently, pondered the fate of the Frankenstein-like woman in Poor Things. For these and many other roles, Emma was nominated for Oscars, BAFTAs, Golden Globes, and other prestigious awards more than 25 times. Emma's journey is a beacon of inspiration for overcoming obstacles on the path to your dreams. Anxiety, often seen as a debilitating barrier, can actually be a gateway to discovering hidden talents when approached with a different mindset. After all, this has certainly been the case for Emma. It almost begs the question, would she still be the same beloved figure we know today without her battle with anxiety? That remains an intriguing mystery. Offering guidance to others facing similar struggles, Emma shares a profound perspective. Anxiety is not merely a mental health condition. It can also be a catalyst for becoming a better version of oneself.
It's so normal. Everyone experiences a version of anxiety or worry in their lives. And maybe we go through it in a different or more intense way for longer periods of time. But there's nothing wrong with you. To be a sensitive person that cares a lot, that takes things in a deep way, is actually part of what makes you amazing.
What are your tools to feel comfortable with yourself? Share your stories in the comments down below.